So you're being held for the night, and then in the mornings, usually around 9:30.
Being held all night?
It might not be this one, you might be over at the other one, and they actually have blankets for you.
You guys are wild, man.
And again, like I said, you can make a phone call if you would like. The attorney and things like that, you're allowed to call right now if you wish, or you can call later.
Justin Timberlake's DWI arrest is more than just a headline. It's a window into the biology of stress. Over the next 20 minutes, we are going to perform an exhaustive, frame-by-frame behavioral audit of this interaction with the law. We'll start by establishing his baseline, the calm, controlled public persona he's spent decades perfecting. And then, we'll watch exactly how that persona begins to crumble under the physiological weight of a high-stakes police encounter. This is a 20-minute masterclass in the hidden language of the human brain. Notice the time between the officer's sirens and the vehicle coming to a complete stop. In a sober state, reaction times are snappy and instinctive. Here, we see a slight but distinct delay, a potential sign of cognitive tunneling, where the brain is so hyper-focused on one task, like maintaining a straight line, that it fails to process new stimuli quickly. As the officer approaches the window, look at the shadow of Justin's hands on the wheel. Even before he speaks, his posture is rigid, his body already flooded with cortisol. When he finally says, "Sorry about that," there's a distinctive breathiness to his voice, a common symptom of a sudden spike in adrenaline causing the vocal cords to stay partially open. Why did he keep the window up for those initial, crucial seconds? In behavioral psychology, we call this shielding. By maintaining that glass barrier, he is subconsciously trying to preserve his private space and delay the inevitable transition from private citizen to suspect. When the window finally rolls down, he immediately shifts into a polite, almost overly compliant tone. This is social grooming, an attempt to use his natural celebrity charisma to de-escalate the officer's suspicion before the physical investigation even begins. It's his first line of psychological defense, and it's a tactic he'll return to throughout the night. Now we come to the moment that went viral, the mention of the world tour. Watch his eyes as he says it. He doesn't look at the officer, he looks slightly down and away. This suggests a cognitive dissonance. He knows the comment is out of place, but his brain is desperately reaching for any tool of social status it can find to re-establish dominance. When we feel our power being stripped away by an authority figure, we instinctively remind others, and ourselves, of our value. It's a psychological survival mechanism. He isn't being arrogant in this moment. He's being defensive. He's trying to remind the world, and perhaps the officer, that he's too important for this to be happening. As he steps out of the car, we see the transition from verbal defense to physical reality. Alcohol affects the vestibular system in the inner ear, which controls our sense of balance and spatial orientation. Watch his first 3 steps away from the vehicle. He isn't stumbling, but he is calculating. Each step is deliberate, heavy, and wide-based. A sober person's gait is narrow and fluid, requiring very little conscious thought. His brain, however, is clearly working overtime just to coordinate the simple act of walking. This manual override of basic movement is exhausting and leaves him with much less mental energy for his verbal defense strategy. The heel-to-toe test is designed to test divided attention. You have to follow specific verbal instructions while simultaneously performing a difficult physical task. Notice how he misses the heel-to-toe connection on the 3rd and 5th steps. He also subconsciously uses his arms to tightrope balance. Even though he was explicitly told to keep his arms at his sides, his cerebellum, the part of the brain that handles motor control, is overriding the verbal instruction to prevent a fall. This is a classic failed instruction cue in field sobriety testing. His body is prioritizing the physics of staying upright over the officer's commands. Listen to his voice as the tests continue. It becomes thinner, higher in pitch, and almost raspy. This is vocal cord constriction. Under extreme psychological stress, the muscles around the larynx tighten instinctively. He is also exhibiting verbal loops, repeating the same phrases like, "I'm just following my friends home." This repetition is a sign of a brain that has run out of creative defensive strategies and is clinging to a single, safe narrative. It's a psychological safety blanket used when an individual feels completely exposed and out of control of their situation. In the one-leg stand, the sway becomes undeniable and statistically significant. Watch the micro-oscillations in his ankle and foot. Those tiny, rapid corrections are the body's last line of defense against gravity when the vestibular system is compromised. He also exhibits extreme gaze fixation. He is staring so intensely at his foot that he becomes completely disconnected from the officer and his surroundings. When we are overwhelmed, we tunnel into a single point of focus to try and maintain control. For Justin, his entire world has shrunk down to the tip of his shoe. The moment the handcuffs go on, we see a profound and sudden shift in his body language. This is what we call the post-arrest collapse. His shoulders, which were previously held high and tense, suddenly drop an inch. His head bows forward. He has moved from active resistance, the attempt to charm or talk his way out, to passive submission. The celebrity mask hasn't just slipped, it's been completely removed by the reality of the situation. We are seeing a man finally confronted with a situation that no amount of status, social proof, or past success can change. It's a raw, human moment of total realization. In the back of the car, the silence is heavy and pregnant with realization. He performs several self-soothing behaviors, touching his face, adjusting his collar, and rubbing his hands together. These are pacifying actions used by the brain to try and lower the heart rate and calm the nervous system during a trauma. Even in the dim light, we can see heavy blinking. Alcohol and extreme stress combined lead to a breakdown in the eye's ability to focus, resulting in these long, slow, labored blinks. He is trying to process the long-term implications of this night, and his brain is visibly struggling to keep up with the data. At the police headquarters, the environment shifts from the dark street to a bright, clinical, and inescapable room. His body language here becomes diminutive. He's trying to make himself look smaller, a subconscious desire to disappear from a shameful and public situation. Look at how he sits in the chair, not leaning back with his usual stage authority, but perched on the very edge, ready to move but with nowhere to go. This leaking anxiety is visible in his restless legs and the way he constantly adjusts his clothing. The controlled star is gone, only the anxious, exposed human remains. During the booking questions, his verbal responses become short, clipped, and monotone. He's using minimalist communication to avoid further self-incrimination or any further emotional exposure. Watch his hands as he signs the legal paperwork. There is a slight but visible tremor, what we call an intention tremor, which occurs when the brain is struggling to coordinate fine motor skills under high psychological pressure. He is hyper-focused on the pen, trying to exert control over the one thing he still can, his signature. It's a small, poignant battle for autonomy in a room where he has none. And then we hear the famous one martini statement. In behavioral analysis, this is a classic example of minimization. By admitting to a small, socially acceptable amount, the brain tries to offer a compromised truth to the authority figure. It's a way of saying, I'm being honest with you, but only enough to protect my core interests. Notice the vocal fry at the end of the sentence, a sign of extreme vocal cord relaxation that often accompanies a perceived safe lie or a desperate plea for belief. He desperately wants the officer to buy into this specific version of the night's events. His refusal of the chemical test is delivered with a sense of resigned finality. He doesn't argue or negotiate, he simply says no. This is a closed posture moment. He has completely shut down communication with the outside world. By refusing, he is exercising the only legal power he has left in that room. Look at the way he avoids all eye contact during this specific exchange. Eye contact is an invitation for social engagement, and he has completely checked out of this conversation. He is now in survival mode, thinking only of the long-term legal defense to come. For a man used to being the center of the world's positive attention, the clinical indifference of the booking process is a massive psychological blow. We call this status shock. He is being treated exactly like any other citizen, and his body language reflects a deep sense of disorientation. He is looking around the room not for an exit, but for a familiar anchor that isn't there. This gaze wandering is a sign of a brain that is failing to find a way to recontextualize the current reality into a positive light. He is, for perhaps the first time in years, truly powerless. Even while just waiting, his body continues to leak vital information. Notice the constant leg bounce, a classic sign of pent-up nervous energy looking for an outlet. He's also grooming his hair repeatedly with his hands. This is a preening behavior, a subconscious attempt to regain a sense of self and appearance in a moment where he feels he has lost his dignity. He is trying to put the pieces of his public persona back together, but the clinical setting makes it impossible. Every time he catches his reflection, the reality of the situation remains his only focus. When his friends finally arrive, his body language becomes even more introverted and guarded. This is the shame response in action. We are at our most vulnerable when those we know and respect see us at our absolute lowest. He avoids direct eye contact with them initially, looking intently at the floor. This gaze aversion is a universal sign of deep shame. He is trying to hide in plain sight from his own social circle. It's a stark, painful contrast to the world tour bravado we saw at the beginning of the night. The journey from status assertion to shame aversion is now complete. As he signs the final exit documents, we see a sense of mechanical compliance. The fight is entirely gone. He is simply going through the necessary motions to get out of the immediate, oppressive environment. Look at the way he handles the papers. It's quick, almost dismissive, and hurried. This hurrying behavior is his brain's way of trying to rush to the end of a traumatic event. He wants to be anywhere but in that room, and his hands are moving at a tempo that reflects that internal, desperate urgency. The night of the arrest is over, but the psychological fallout has just begun. So, what are the 3 biggest takeaways from this 20-minute forensic audit? First, cognitive lag, the delay in response that betrayed his true mental state. Second, status-seeking defenses, the fascinating attempt to use his career as a psychological shield. And third, the physical override, where his body's primal need for balance outweighed his brain's ability to follow complex verbal instructions. These aren't just celebrity behaviors, they are universal human reactions to pressure, impairment, and exposure. By studying them here, we learn how to see them in the people all around us. The reason this footage fascinated the world wasn't just the celebrity name, it was the relatability of the fall. We've all felt that sudden, cold surge of panic when a controlled situation spins out of our grasp. Watching it happen to a global icon in such a clinical, unvarnished way provides a unique and valuable window into the human condition. The police body camera doesn't care about Grammy Awards or fame. It only records the raw truth of the moment. And the truth we've seen today is a powerful, sobering reminder of our shared biological and psychological limits. My final thought on this case is one of baselines. We spend our entire lives building a baseline of who we want the world to think we are. Justin Timberlake is a master of that construction. But when the baseline is stripped away by stress or impairment, what remains is the biological truth. This 20-minute breakdown shows us that under enough pressure, the constructed self always gives way to the biological self. Whether you're a pop star or a bystander, your body language is the most honest story you'll ever tell, and it's a story you can't easily fake. As the incident footage concludes, we see the lasting impact of the stress response. The legal process will continue for months, but the psychological record is now permanent and public. This footage will be studied for years by experts, not just for the legal outcome, but as a textbook example of behavioral breakdown in high-stress environments. It's a permanent addition to our collective library of human vulnerability. Every time we watch it, we see a little bit more of the hidden mechanics of the human mind in crisis. Thank you for joining me for this full 20-minute forensic deep dive. I know it was an exhaustive and intense journey, but true behavioral analysis requires this kind of patience and attention to micro detail. We've looked at the stop, the tests, the arrest, and the booking through a professional lens that few people ever get to use. This kind of deep dive is the only way to truly understand the why behind the what. If you found this level of breakdown valuable, it means you're starting to see the world differently, with a focus on the truth beneath the surface. This event marks a permanent shift in Justin Timberlake's public baseline. For decades, he was the untouchable, polished performer. Now, that image is forever joined by the image of the man in the Sag Harbor booking room. In the world of behavioral analysis, this is a rebaselining. From now on, every performance he gives will be viewed through the lens of this vulnerability. It's a fascinating example of how a single hour of footage can rewrite a 30-year narrative. The human brain is quick to build a persona, but even quicker to remember the moment it broke. The skills we've used over the last 20 minutes aren't just for analyzing celebrities on the news. They are tools for navigating your own life. Every interaction you have with your boss, your partner, or a stranger is filled with these same cues. The one martini minimization, the shielding responses, the vocal pitch shifts, they are happening all around you. My goal with this 20-minute breakdown was to give you the eyes to see them. Once you start noticing the hidden language of behavior, you can never go back to just listening to words. The truth is always in the movement. What we've been analyzing is the war between the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, and the prefrontal cortex, the center of logic and social control. In Justin's case, we watched the amygdala slowly take over as the night progressed. This emotional hijacking is why he couldn't maintain his composure. No matter how much training or media experience someone has, when the brain's survival systems are triggered, biology always wins. This 20-minute study is a perfect laboratory for watching that neurological battle play out in real time with real-world consequences. As we wrap up this exhaustive 20-minute audit, remember that body language is about patterns, not isolated incidents. We didn't judge Justin on a single stumble or a single word. We looked at the cumulative evidence across nearly an hour of interaction. The pattern we found was one of consistent cognitive and physical decline under stress. This is the hallmark of forensic behavioral analysis, looking for the thread that ties every movement together. I hope this deep dive has provided you with a new set of tools for understanding the people in your own world. It's been an honor to guide you through it. We live in the era of the unfiltered record. Police body cameras have become the ultimate truth-tellers in our society. They strip away the spin, the PR statements, and the carefully crafted narratives. As more of these videos are released, our ability as a society to read and understand body language will only become more important. We are becoming a world of behavioral analysts, and videos like the Timberlake stop are our primary source material. This 20-minute journey is just one chapter in a much larger story of how we seek truth in the digital age. Thank you for staying for the full 20 minutes. This was a massive undertaking, and I appreciate your commitment to understanding the complexities of human behavior. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please consider sharing it with someone who loves psychology or true crime. Your support allows me to continue creating these high-density expert analyses. I'm your body language expert, and I'll see you in the next deep dive. Keep observing, keep questioning, and always look for the story beneath the surface. I'm signing off for now. Stay observant. This has been an expert forensic analysis of the Justin Timberlake DWI footage. For more deep dives into the hidden language of behavior, stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more frame-by-frame breakdowns. The truth is always right there in front of you if you know how to read it. Thank you for watching.